Good evening, Fiji, and welcome to For the Record. This evening, we're coming to you from the headquarters of the Fiji Football Association, right after the Under-20 Fiji soccer team created history. And joining us this evening and welcoming us here, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. It's a pleasure.
Now, congratulations, I have to say, to you and the boys.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump right at it. How do you feel right now?
Oh, I don't think it's still sinking inside you yet, because it's a very special moment. It's something which is a dream, been a dream for many years, and suddenly happened and becoming reality. And it's very difficult for everybody to understand what we achieved so far. But in the next few days, when things become a little bit more calm, then you start to realize all the job we done and all the sacrifice we done pay off. But it's an incredible feeling inside, absolutely incredible feeling. The happiness, joy, emotion, anything you can imagine is inside you, and it was an explosion last night. After 4 months, there's so many pressures in every possible way. So happy as never been in my life.
I was kind of hoping that when we got here, we'd get to see the boys, but obviously they're out celebrating too,
Yes.
And well, they deserve it. They
Without any doubt. I think the incredible pressure for 4 months we've been in the academy since the beginning of the year, and then to go to New Zealand for the final preparation, and in 17 days play 6 games and come back here and then recover time and be ready for the World Cup, and then the tension and the expectations and the incredible pressure it is to perform in your own country. But everything we done for 4 months was so well planned. It was a team, the officials, the team, the bond between the players was excellent. It's a lot of sacrifice from everybody, from parents to teachers to schools, a Department of Education, government, sponsors, everybody coming together to help us and see if we can qualify. And at the end, we deliver. And this is a dream for Fiji.
You said it at the beginning that the boys had it in them to perform. They put it together. Now let's talk about leading up to the OFC, and also now obviously qualifying to the World Cup. Going into the games, before the first match with American Samoa, how was it? How was it as a coach, and how were the boys?
Okay, for me probably because my experience, I used to this with the Australian teams, so in my country, in Uruguay and so on. But for many of the coaches here, it's a high, very high expectation. The ants go in your belly, inside your body. You know, it's just something you expect. If you don't feel that, you are not ready for the things that come. But once the first whistle blow, everything changes, because you just focus on the game. But before that, you need to prepare your players, not only physically, mentally, more important mentally, because this kind of tournament is not like you play home in your own districts or so on. This is a World Cup, and World Cup required to be at the very best, at a very high standard, and you need to understand the other teams also are the best players from the other country. So it's a lot of demand, it's a lot of pressure to perform. But once we pass the first game and you settle it down in the tournament, we show that everything we done for 3 months and the trip to New Zealand pay off, because the players know exactly what they expect, because it was not one coach, was the other, if not all together, continuous. We have meeting individually, as a team, in groups, defense and midfields and attack, the goalkeeper. Everybody, we talk with quite a few people, different approach, different mentality, and the kids, they are all different. So to one player you can talk a little bit stronger, to other you need to be more soft. So you need to understand what you have in front of you and cannot treat everybody the same. But the standard of the training session, to put the players at the level we need to perform, it changed. But like I say, once the first game went over, that was a big confidence that we passed the first game. The nervous go disappear. Now we are in. So now we need to take one game at a time. And that's what we've done. One game at a time. We keep very low profile. We don't want very much to talk about we will qualify or anything. We just one game at a time. And pass the next game, then we're looking at the next game. We never talk about the next game. We talk only about the game they coming on. The problem in this World Cup is not like the proper World Cup where you play one every 4 or 5 days. Here you play one day yes, one day no, one day yes, one day no. So the recovery time alone, mentally and physically, you have maybe 1.5 days, and then you need to play again. So your recovery program is so important. Why you put ice bath or the pool, the exercise we do, the stretching and stuff like that. So everybody need to compenetrate, and that happened this time. They happened before last year with the Olympic and the under 20, but then the last hurdle was New Zealand, and we failed both times. With the Olympic qualification was unlucky because we play exceptional well in Tapu and New Zealand. We should be qualified, but there are the things that happen in football, no? It happen in sport. Yeah. Sometimes you expect, and then in the end, the last hurdle you fail. But no, without any doubt, this time the boys were ready. Plus, we have about 7 boys that played last year in the under 20. They had this experience, and for us, we say from the very beginning, that will be the core of the team. They're the one that had experience. They're the one they have been playing already. Maybe some in under 17, they come into the under 20. Now play under 20 game. It's a plus for us.
Before we start talking about the individual players, let me just ask, going into the final game and also the support from the senior team, from the Fiji senior team. So how was that?
Great, great, because through the 2 weeks we've been here since we come back from New Zealand, not much in Ba, because in Ba is a little bit more far away, but of course all the players from Ba, Nandi, Lautoka, we see everybody, but here was special because it's the last week, the total pressure, and we have the pleasure to have here Simeone Tamanisao, which is my senior goalkeeper and the national team, but also the captain of the country. And for him to come in and to come in to say hello to everybody, and the speech is a wisdom speech, it's a knowledge speech, it's everything he knows about football. So he talked for about 15 minutes, and the message, you can see the message when the boys looking at them, the message went through. And then the day after in the morning, Roy Krishnas arrived, and we need to appreciate very much the board done absolutely everything to bring him back here, because he's supposed to come back to New Zealand again. And we talked to him, and he agreed straight away, like always. He put always a hand for the country, and it was great for the player. It was a surprise. We never say anything, and bang, Roy appeared. And Roy is Roy. He just is the face of Fiji football, and everywhere, in FIFA, in Oceania, everywhere. So that was great too, because he's a great kid, humble person, talking from the heart, and pure professional. So again, was a great speech, and that was just the night and the day before the game. Okay. So and it was so important for us, very important. But like I say, the players were from the first game to the last game, the mentality started to change and more focus and focus. So we're very happy in the end, no?
All right. Well, we'll just take a short break, but we'll be right back with the Fiji Under-20 coach, Carlos Pizzetti, on For the Record. Welcome back to For the Record. We continue our conversation with Carlos Pizzetti, of course, the Under-20 Fiji men's team, creating history and qualifying for the next year's Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand.
In New Zealand in June.
In June.
It will be very cold.
It's going to be very cold at that time too. You're absolutely right. Yes. Now, with preparations, of course, the team, the boys that you're going to keep, this is the team to the FIFA World Cup Under-20 next year?
Yeah, well, now we have 1 year. This is the first team to qualify for the World Cup. So now, first of all, the more important for us is expose the team around the world and show to everybody Fiji is the first team to qualify for the World Cup. The reason why Oceania done this is because in the past, not many of the teams perform at expectation from Oceania when you went to the World Cup. Of course, you play against professional team. It's a huge gap between Oceania and the rest. But this time they give us 1 year. Anybody will qualify, we have 1 year to prepare. So, and this one we qualify now, we have 1 year for prepare, and then we need to put in a strategic plan, a program, how we go to work for the whole year. And in the program, you need to have everything in consideration. The league, FAC tournament, BOG, IDC, many things, and the majority of these players already play at top level. So we also need to traveling. It's not about we need to make 2-3 trips. I think the president said yesterday we will go to Middle East, Asia, and we will go to US, which the association is waiting for us already. So they will sponsor again, like in 2007, and then we need to go to another trip. They probably go to be the Caribbean or South American. We will see what happens. But you need this time exposure because we need to go to the next level. It's not only one step, it's 2 or 3 steps different. So when you think alone that you maybe in your group is Brazil or England or Ghana or any of the countries, the big countries in the world, or you're talking about a different football, right. You're talking about professional football. And many display, when you look France last year won the under 20 against Uruguay and France, the majority of the players already
are playing in this year's FIFA World Cup too, in the French team.
Correct. Probably many other players. You're talking about players that play at top level, and we are here in an environment, amateur environment. So we need to bring the level of our players to a different standard. And also we need to look if there's any other players around. They are equal or even better, or we give some opportunity. Because this is a good opportunity to see players. We have one full year and see somebody else can fit into the squad. And if no, well, the squad we're coming from these 21 players we have in this moment.
So for the record,
yes,
there are still chances for players that are playing right now here in Fiji to still make it.
Or even overseas.
Or even overseas, to still make it into the under 20.
Yeah, because you need to give opportunity to everybody. If you say, well, we qualified yesterday and we play in 2 weeks' time, or 1 month's time, or even 2 months' time, you don't want to change anything. Now, these players give absolutely everything for the last year and this year, and mainly from, like I said, the beginning of January. So you need to give more consideration to the players you have now. They know us better, they know the way we're training, but the program for training also, they need to step up.
That's right.
The level, the work you do is much, much higher. The bodies, they need to be strength a little bit better and stuff like that. So, but without any doubt, the doors, you need to leave the doors open to everybody. And if we found somebody which is a good value for represent the country, of course you need to give an opportunity. At least you need to bring them from trial and see how they cope with the demands of the game, the football.
Okay, so it's the Middle East to Asia. Yes,
in Asia, Middle East, yes.
Yeah, the Middle East. We've also got the US strip, and possibly Latin America and the USA.
Latin America or Caribbean countries. Okay. But that's what the president say in the media yesterday. I just follow what he say. Okay. But we have some discussion what we need to do. But now we need to sit and certainly discuss.
Is this also inclusive of the players that you're thinking of sending to the Asia Pacific Academy?
Well, at this moment we have one team, 21 players, 23 or 24 with the last players that went out from the squad. So we need to look at the values of the player, the performance of the player at this level. We need to assess everybody. We need to sit down and discuss everything with the team, the coaches. Then we need to sign with the national team directors, which is Tarunesh Reddy, vice president also, with Rajesh Patel. We have continued meetings, weekly meetings, or every fortnight meeting. They have been incredibly supportive, and of course they are the bosses. We need to discuss many things with them. They are the ones that at the end they made the final decision regarding trips and so on. But of course we need to present the programs, we need to present the proposals, we need to present a strategic plan, what we're going to do during the year, how we fit all the tournaments and everything in between for the players to be available. We need to think also in the local league and the district, because they are district players also. So everybody needs to understand we achieved something very special. Yes. Now to go there, we need to prepare in a special way too.
Now, how important is the role? You've mentioned the district, the various districts here in Fiji. How important do you see the drive for moving Fiji? You've achieved something that is now going to put Fiji on the map now,
correct,
for sure. And now, how do you see the district level? So how do we need to start looking? Where do we have to look?
From the bottom.
From the bottom.
Because I see in a country, the only way you can develop the country if you start from the grassroots. We have a program like Just Play, then we have grassroots program, then we have the schools competition. we need to implement some competition under 13s, under 11, 13, 15, 17 outside the school competition. Because the school competition, unfortunately, here is for 2-3 months, second term, and it's no more football. So we don't have the opportunity to see the quality of the players we have, to have our own leagues outside the schools. That will give us a much better opportunity. We can do, once we have this league, we can select the players, we can put develop a squad in each district where we can help from FIGFA technical department, and then the districts themselves, they will benefit in the future, because all these players coming up, you don't need to look for players outside your district, you only need to take care about the players you have in your own district. And the district is 13, 15, 17, they will produce players for the top level. And it's a great benefit for the district. But it's a great benefit for the national teams, because when you see all the young generation and you put elite developer squad in each district, it's easy for us as coaches. Because we know who are already the best, you select the best, coming to camp only with a specific number, and practically that's your national team. Now you need to start to develop at the next level, not district level, but international level. But the job will be easy. In this moment, we don't have. But if the districts really start to looking, and that's what we're looking in this moment, to working together with GFA, the technical department, and if the things happen, then the future is safe, and the future is assured for everybody, not only for us, but also for the districts.
On that note, we'll take another short break right here on For the Record. Welcome back to For the Record, and we continue our discussion with the Fiji Football Association's Carlos Bozzetti. Now, Mr. Bozzetti, just before we went to the break, we were talking about development. I'm going to ask you another aspect of Fiji soccer. It's equally important, women's soccer. How is that going, and how are the developments for Fiji women in, well, say for the next 2 years or so?
Well, it's very simple. It's one word the president of FIFA say, the future is women. So they say a lot, because women, they are the support, the backbone of any man around. No? But when they talking about women, we're talking about the new generation, the young generation. And Fiji, for whatever reason, many different reasons, cultural reasons, religious reasons, always been very difficult. But now, suddenly, last year, they started to take off. We have a great support from Oceania and FIFA. We have an under-16 tournament. They attract 780 girls. They was bigger than any other country in the region. And this year, we start with the under-14s. Was a try just to see how things working. The West alone was 786, and now start here in the South. This last Saturday was here the first group, so we think they're going to be another 700 girls, and still the North to finalize. So this is something, we're talking about 1,500 up. You're talking about a huge amount.
That's quite a remarkable change.
And the response we have, parents need to come, they are young kids, they can see the girls have the opportunity for the future. So we take care, the under-16 will be again this year. I think they have an incredible amount of school interest again. They perform very well. It's a tournament they call Ultimate Sport. They're coming from Australia, they organize everything within for Australia, New Zealand, or any other islands. And they perform very well last year in December, so we expect this year when they come back to be a very successful. But the more important is to building an under-17 and an under-20 for the future. I'm not looking very much about the top yet, but building up, and this guy that we had experience, then we can talk about other things. I still believe the Olympic squad, they got to be going for the qualification, but for me the concentration will be like we're doing in this moment, develop a new generation, and then we will have a great group, the girls, for the future of the country. No?
Okay, that sounds very good for Fiji and for soccer in the country.
Yes, certainly.
Now, you mentioned the Olympics. Now, let's look at also the upcoming, well, this Olympics is probably, we know, we're not for surely into the soccer, but maybe for next Olympics. Yeah? Do you see Fiji, well, how is Fiji preparing? What are our chances?
Put on this way, we already have a provisional squad of certified players, but if you look last Olympic tournament 2012 in Tapu in New Zealand, we went all the way to the finals and we only lost 1-0 and we dominated the game and unfortunately 3 times strike the post and the ball and instead of going bouncing out.
Yeah.
So, but it's football, so we miss. But again, I think this time we will have a very strong squad. Until we put things together and start to training and stuff like that, you don't have a picture exactly what but we know the players, which is important thing. All these players play at top level in the country, so I think we will have and according to the names we put together, I think we will have a very good squad also for the Olympic qualification in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. Now, what about Pacific Games next year?
Yes, the same. In this moment, the squad we nominate, provisional squad, they're going to be reviewed now again. It's a very, very young squad, only with few senior players from the whole squad, only very few. The majority is a squad about 17 players from the last Olympic qualification because they performed absolutely fantastic, plus few players from this under 20 and the last under 20. So I think we're on the road now. Everything is changed. No, you need to readjust. When you look teams like Manchester United, for example, for 10 years was fantastic. And now it's on a stage rearrange everything and change things, and everything had this every 10-year period. So I think the players they play for the country before excellent. And some of them still, like Roy Krishnas and so on. But now we need to look at the new generation. We need to build it for 2018 and beyond. No? So we are on the road, put on this way. We are on the road. Sometimes we don't say very much, but we're working very hard in the background.
I'm going to ask you a little bit of a difficult question. Some of these players, which ones stand out for you?
From the under 20?
Under 20 and those that you're looking at.
Well, I think it was obvious that some of the players, they was more consistent in every game, like Pranil Naidu on the left side, and Chris Neal, and also in the Nikhil, sorry, in the left midfield. So our left side was extremely strong here in the championship. The 3 center defenders, there was the same 3 center defenders we had last year and then the 20. So they have a good experience. Even in Jale Dreloa, the captain, we moved him and the midfield. So some of the other midfield, they have experience too. So there was a very well balanced, was completely different strike group, because last year we had Rusciate and Gase and Jones Alonenone, so it was 3 solid strikers. This one a little bit more younger, but they done the job. At the end, we won 4 games. We only drew 1. We finished undefeated. 13 points. Show very clear we were the best team in the tournament. So, but just to select players, sometimes we be unfair with others. But I think our left side and the defense was the core, and we only conceded 3 goals in the whole tournament. So. We done exceptional. Even the goalkeeper done exceptional well. He won the best goalkeeper in the tournament. So we need to be very happy.
All right. Well, just before we wrap up the show, I want to ask you if there's anything you'd like to, maybe some people to thank, but also your look at Fiji soccer now.
But Fiji soccer, I think they have a great future.
Yes.
For first time we qualify. Now we need to expose Fiji to the world. Fiji is very well known in rugby. And now we start to be well known in football. They're going to be something special for us.
How did you feel about the support last night?
Great. For first time. I said in an interview earlier in FBC, say if we have the same kind of support rugby have, we are on the road. It's our 12 player. The support is our 12 player. And yesterday when you look at the grandstand, full. and shouting for Fiji, that was a great feeling.
And the Fiji flags.
Great. A lot. But to say thank you, look, it's a lot of people, and sponsors, and we're talking about the parents, the kids in the schools, they give the opportunity and bar to bring the players from other districts, the Minister of Education, Minister of Sport, the Sport Commissioner, Vodafone, Kappa, which is our sponsor for all the clothes. It's difficult because you miss somebody, but I want to say thank you very much for all the officials in our team. The board was absolutely fantastic. Rajesh Patel and Tarunesh, which are close to us. Thank you very much for all the support that we're giving to the media. The media was great this time, absolutely great. Everybody with one mind, positive toward the team. And they also help us so much to be successful. But to our players, it's no words to describe the feeling and the thank you to all of them, but more important also to our officials, because the officials done a lot of sacrifice to be there, every single one, for the coaches, to the physiotherapists, and the goalkeeper coach, and everybody involved. We only can say thank you to the country, thank you for the support, God bless you all.
On that note, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And
you
good luck to our under-20 boys in their pursuit to next year's FIFA World Cup under-20 in New Zealand. On that note, thank you again for joining us. For comments and questions, you can send them to fortherecord@fpc.com.fj. Good night, Fiji.